Cope's Mosiwa Lekota has denied that he ever benefited from the arms deal during his time as Defence Minister. And former Intelligence Minister Ronnie Kasrils says the Protection of Information Bill is aimed at shielding silly leaders from embarrassment and not protecting the country's real official secrets. I'm Richard Brooks. Cope's Mosiwa Lekota has denied that he ever benefited from the arms deal during his time as Defence Minister. His statement follows President Jacob Zuma's announcement that he will be appointing a commission of inquiry into the deal. Lekota says he was never involved when the agreement was being negotiated and only came into government during the implementation phase.
All of us who were in government, whether in the defense or not, were concerned that government was being accused of corruption. So we are very happy, we welcome this announcement that the president has now decided to reopen this matter. Because in the first place, the president himself has been very heavily implicated in this arms deal. The evidence that was led in the Shabir Sheikh matter pointed serious allegations in his direction.
Former Intelligence Minister Ronnie Kasrils says the Protection of Information Bill is aimed at shielding silly leaders from embarrassment and not protecting the country's real official secrets. Speaking to hundreds of protesters who had earlier marched to Parliament to protest against the so-called secrecy bill, he told them the legislation was wrong. Kasrils says it's essential people raise their voices against the bill. Kasrils says his love for the country transcends the love for the ruling party. On media freedom, he suggested government was pushing through the information bill to spare itself embarrassment. A 2-day auction of rare South African wines in the Cape Winelands has fetched a record 6 million rand. Buyers from as far as Britain, India, Latin America and Hong Kong attended the 37th annual Nederburg wine auction. One of the most talked about wines was a case of 6 bottles of Moni Vintage Port 1948, which was sold for 68,000 rand to a Nigerian company. Organizer Karina Gous explains.
Well, we ended on 6.13 million rand, which is up from last year's 5.57. So we were aiming to get to the figure of last year because we have 15% less wine this year to sell than what we had last year. So we're delighted that we actually achieved more than our figures from last year.